So Clemson got this number 1 recruit.
His name is Bryan Bresee. Okay. Bryan Bresee is defensive lineman. And I played some sound that, Barton Simmons believes what Barton Simmons believes, which
Barton
is
Simmons
is the director of scouting for 247.
Okay.
And he's one of 5, I believe, national recruiting analysts at 247 who put together the top 247, which is the rankings for 247. Now, the 247 composite comprises ESPN, 247, and, yes, rivals, right?
Okay.
Industry generated. So 247 might give a kid 4 stars, but the composite might give him 5 because he was 5-star according to ESPN, rivals, and rankings and so forth. So there was this discussion about who should be number 1. And the guys that they were thinking about who should be number 1 in 2020 class are DJ Uiagalelei, Bryce Young, and Bryan Bresee. Bryan Bresee, you've seen him.
Yeah.
6'4", 290 pounds. Tremendous hands inside the phone booth. Great karate moves.
Yeah, no, this is one of those, like, you thought you've played or you've seen a kid that's big and fast and strong, and like, you ain't seen this kid. You ain't seen the. Not only have you not seen a 5-star, you've never seen the number 1 recruit in the country. Who is it? Barton says that this floor is 10. Mm-hmm. And even to say we're being generous.
NFL draft in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. And even if we're being generous, 20, which is wild for a kid that's coming right out of
you might even call it a bust for ranking a kid inside the top 5. Perspective here. I gotta check this, but I believe I have this right. Do you know who was ranked ahead of Adrian Peterson in 2004?
2004.
Like, I'm thinking of a certain quarterback.
Ooh, I do not know.
Rhett Bomar.
Ooh.
I'm
fairly
certain that Rhett Bomar was number 4, and Adrian Peterson was number.
I gotta be on your trivia team.
I'm wrong.
Take it back. I should not be on your trivia team.
No, the Twitters have me on this one. They would have me. They would destroy me. I'm sure, because the 247 composite has him as the national number 1. Rhett Bomar's number 4. Okay. Excuse me. I had it flipped. All right. Early Doucette was number 5.
That's a name.
Right. So, like, just let's go through 04, right? Okay. So let me try to redeem myself here. Number 1, Adrian Peterson. Number 2, Ted Ginn Jr.
Okay.
Number 3, Willie Williams.
I got nothing on that.
Right. Exactly. 4 is Rhett Bomar.
Okay.
And 5 is Early Doucette. So, let me see. 6 is Brandon Miller.
Okay.
7 is Keith Rivers. 8 is Xavier Lee. 9 is Jeff Byers. And 10 is Jeff Schweiger. So I'm going through this list, and I'm telling you dudes I know, just going through 32, because the reason I wanted to bring this up is, 1, talk about Bryan Bresee and Bryce Young and DJ Uiagalelei, but also because I thought it was a really cool thing they did on the College Football Daily podcast, where they just mined 10 hours of conversation that the council had about how they're going to rank people. Because people want to know, how do these kids get ranked and what are they looking for? And 5 stars are not just supposed to be first-round draft picks. They're supposed to be first-round draft picks in the next 3 years. They're supposed to be early outs. Jerry Jeudy.
Gotcha.
Tua Tagovailoa, right? They're supposed to be those guys. And inevitably, you're going to get somebody wrong, but you're going to get several people wrong. You just don't want to get poorly. You don't want to be poor here. So, like, do you remember Xavier Carter? Because I remember
Carter was a quarterback.
No, he wide out at LSU, but I remember him because he was a phenomenal track athlete.
Yeah, no, that was the dude that was he like 6'4", 210, 215?
But was a 400-meter stallion.
Burner, yeah.
Just flawless.
Yeah.
And he ended up being better at track than he was at football, you ask me. But he was number 17 recruit in the country. No, 18 is Chad friggin' Henne. You know, I mean, I'm going down this list. Calvin Johnson's 23 in this class. Would we say now that Calvin Johnson was a better pro than Adrian Peterson?
Give me that top 5 one more time.
Okay. Adrian Peterson's 1. Ted Ginn Jr. is 2. Willie Williams is 3. Rhett Bomar is 4. Early Doucette is 5.
I think you could make an argument that that he could be better than Adrian Peterson.
Right.
As long as Adrian Peterson keeps pumping out 800-yard seasons.
Yeah, it makes it difficult. It makes it difficult because my man decided to hang it up before 30. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But We've never seen a Calvin Johnson. We've never seen Adrian Peterson. But we've never seen a Calvin Johnson. I mean, my man's name is Megatron.
Yeah.
You know? All right. So just going through that 32. Man, Chris Patterson was 28. I remember this dude. Outside linebacker committed to sign OU. And then number 30, Glenn Dorsey. Like, Dan Connor was the only other dude in here that I was like, oh, yeah, that dude was good. Penn State linebacker.
You know, that's I have a whole bunch of these cats are good in college.
Paul Puslesny.
It's hard to make it into the NFL.
Well, okay, so
hard to make it in the NFL.
So talking about Bryan Bresee just a little bit, right? Yeah. But I want to get there by saying Micah Parsons is also a 5-star, right? Micah Parsons did something Dan Connor couldn't do, Paul Puslesny couldn't do, and the other Nittany Lion linebackers in between him and LeVar Arrington. Okay? Consensus All-American. First one since LeVar Arrington. That's how good Micah Parsons is. 5-star. Just pointing that out. Because there's a bunch of great Penn State linebackers.
Absolutely.
Only Micah Parsons, LeVar Arrington in this stretch, in this 20-year stretch, have been able to do this.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
But, I mean, college football's been wild in that 20-year stretch.
But it also tells you how good Micah Parsons is.
Yeah.
Right. So, Bryan Bresee, right, being ranked even inside the top 5 for the 2020 class means that we're pegging you as a dude that we believe the floor is 10, 20, right? You were, you. Why do you end up at Clemson? When did that happen?
I feel like this is a thing that you said not too long ago that Clemson was getting as many 5-stars as possible. Every school wants to do that, but they've made it their goal to do that on, say, the defense and defensive line, right? Get a quarterback, get D lineman. That's what you want. I mean, I think that if you're him, you're 18. So like, as long as you've been an active football watcher, Clemson's been that team. And if it's not Alabama or Ohio State, it's Clemson. Mm-hmm. And if you go there, that you know that they got just about every year that you've been watching football, 4 bell cows on the offensive line. You know how good you are. You've probably been sold that you're going to go there, you're going to develop, and also you'll maybe never see a double team. And so it's going to be a good time for you the entire time. That's a great pitch.
You had to develop that, though. You had to develop that as a pitch.
Uh-huh.
Meaning you had to, at some point, overdevelop a bunch of kids into taking the spots that we awarded 5 stars. Mm-hmm. So Isaiah Simmons, I think, is an example of this. And they lucked into what was Isaiah Simmons, right? Isaiah Simmons is Buckets Award winner. He's called a linebacker. They put him on the roster as a linebacker. He's a friggin' safety, okay? He's just a safety that can play Will or Mike or Sam, who can line up in a 4'9", and who can be your middle safety. If you want to play free safety, cool, but you're wasting him. He can do anything you ask him to do on a football field. Dax Hill, to me, is that dude. Mm-hmm. But Dax Hill's also a 5-star. Isaiah Simmons is a 3-star. How does Isaiah Simmons end up a 3-star and end up doing what he does at Clemson? Well, Brent Venables had a bunch of dudes declare for the NFL draft early playing his defensive backfield that he didn't expect to declare. Mm-hmm. So they were light, and they need to go find somebody. And he said this: we were desperate at safety. We needed somebody at safety. I heard about the kid in Olathe. I went to school at Kansas State. Mm-hmm. Cool. And when I saw him, and I saw how big he was, 6'4", 205, I hugged his whole body. I wrapped both of my arms around him, and I said, thank God I came to Olathe, Kansas. Found out that there was some recruiting to be done with Kansas because he had a brother that was playing there. Mm-hmm. But Kansas State hadn't even offered him. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of pissed because he's an alum, right? He's like, all right, fine. When I found out that he was going to leave the state, I felt like we were in good shape. Mm-hmm. But how does that dude end up a 3-star again? He didn't go to camps. So guys like Barton Simmons don't get to evaluate him against good, mm-hmm. right? And he played both ways. He was all-state as a safety and a wideout, but in Kansas, which ain't exactly,
It's not very talent rich.
Right. And then you go to Clemson, and Brent Venables overdevelops you, according to some of us, right? They seem to do that everywhere, all at once. which to me is lightning. You know, I told you over dinner, Larry Fedora has this philosophy that I believe, right? Which is, hey, I'm going to do what you asked me to do, which is to say, if you want to load the box, I'm going to throw it. If you want to drop 8, I'm going to run it. Because most defenses can stop you from running. Most defenses can stop you from passing. Rarely can they do both at the same time.
Right.
Right? And his 2015 offense set records at UNC, scored over 570. I think they scored 570, right? They put up like 6,000 yards of offense.
Yes, they were very good.
Right. They go 11-1. Their one loss is to Clemson, who ends up playing in the national championship game, losing by 5. And they lost the game to Clemson 45-37. My point here is, he was doing the same thing. He was overdeveloping a bunch of kids in a scheme that worked. It fell apart. He has 2 9-loss seasons. For Dabo, it just kept getting better.
So your big time programs, they have absolutely developed a pipeline. They absolutely have really good recruiters, but you can't discount like the luck factor into being great. So stuff like that is like you overdeveloped 3 stars. Like, well, lots of teams have 3 stars. They're not getting the type of production that Clemson's getting out of them. So I don't want to say that somebody is just preternaturally great at developing talent. You can be very good at it, but you also have to be lucky to get that type of production, person to person to person to person, to be able to continue to be the Clemson that we know the last 5 years.